All right, buddy. So I made you a book. Don't worry, there are pictures. Some of them are pretty terrible, but I did my best. So I realized I've told a lot of people about you over the years, but I don't think I've really ever told you your story before. At least the parts of it that I know. So come on over here and check it out. You were born far from here on a cold morning in northern Nevada on the Pyramid Lake Paiute Reservation. I don't have pictures of that part of your life. I wish I did. I wish I could see what you looked like the first time you stood on those long baby legs. I wish I could see your mother. I wish I could see the herd you came from as this little wild baby, figuring out how your legs work, annoying your mom, getting into trouble, running around with your brothers and sisters, and probably already thinking you're pretty handsome. And honestly, you were right. But when winter came that first year, everything changed. Your herd was rounded up. You were separated from your mother and from the other adult horses who had been your whole world. And you never saw them again. You were left with the other babies, 22 young foals all around your age, scared, confused, and suddenly alone. That's when some people found out about you. Rescues heard there were orphan foals who needed help, and a whole chain of people stepped in. People raised money. People found places for you to go. People drove through awful winter weather to get you and the others out of danger. You probably didn't know what was happening. I mean, you were just a baby, but people were already fighting for you. And this is where we finally get to see you. Back then, they called you handsome, which is annoying because I can't even argue with it. Everyone seemed to love you. You were this curious, bright, a little wild, but there was something special in you, even then. For a few years, your story gets quiet. There's a blank space where I don't really know what happened. Somewhere in those years, the curious foal from the pictures became a horse. He was afraid of people. And I don't know who taught you that. I don't know what happened. I just know by the time I met you, you didn't trust us very much. And to be honest, we hadn't given you a lot of reason to. I met you about 9 years ago in 2017. I was training other horses at the ranch you were being kept. And there was something about you that caught my eye. You weren't trying to impress anyone. You weren't asking for attention. But I kept noticing you. So I asked that ranch owner, what's his story? And she gets back to me saying, he's for sale if you want him. And normally I would have said, no, I don't want a horse. For years, I'd spent my life with other people's horses. I mean, I love them. I trained them. I helped them. But I didn't really want the responsibility of having one of my own. But this time, it was different. My life had recently changed, and I was open to the possibility. Around that same time, someone who was pivotal in my life with horses had recently passed away. Javier. He was the master of horse from the medieval times where I worked in New Jersey. And I'd been thinking a lot about that part of my life, about those horses, about the lessons he had taught me, about the kind of horseman I wanted to be. And then there you were, this scared Mustang with a name that didn't quite belong to him yet. So I bought you, and I gave you a new name, Navaro. And that day, I made a promise to you. No matter what, I will show up for you. Always. So the beginning wasn't perfect. You didn't trust me right away. And honestly, why would you? Trust had not worked out for you very well. So I took my time with you. Some days were good. Some days were educational. But little by little, you started to believe in me. And when you finally trusted me, you didn't just trust me a little. You latched on to me with your whole heart. And since then, we've had a lot of adventures. We learned each other. We made mistakes. But we got better. We went places I never imagined we would go. Oh man, you went from a frightened horse who didn't know if people were safe to my partner, my teacher, and my friend. And now somehow, this little orphan foal from northern Nevada, the one who was separated from everything he knew, is about to represent the entire United States at a world championship in Spain. That's a pretty big story, buddy. And the wildest part is, we're not done yet. This is just the part where we turn the page.
Every living thing is connected. Everything that moves, that breathes, that grows is part of a whole, larger than itself. The prairies that stretch broad across the west, the grasses that reach toward the sun and send roots down into the earth, the land home to creatures large and small, furred and feathered, who spread seeds and leave behind nourishment for the soil, and the predators that keep it all in balance. This is not poetry, this is ecology. And here, on a vast stretch of Colorado's high plains, the mighty, majestic Mustangs take their place as part of this beautifully balanced system. The Wild Horse Refuge exists to elevate freedom. Created by the Wild Animal Sanctuary, the refuge is a place where hundreds of Colorado's wild Mustangs are free, not bred, not sold, not exploited. As development and ranching have expanded, these horses have found themselves with nowhere to go, and so they are rounded up and auctioned off. For some, this has created a new life in domestication. For others, the experience has been tragic and deadly. The Wild Horse Refuge creates a forever home for these majestic creatures, free to roam in their ancestral lands. The refuge furthers the mission of the Wild Animal Sanctuary to protect wild lives and offer them extraordinary freedom. The Wild Horse Refuge sprawls over 46 square miles of rolling hills, rocky crags, and a big sky horizon. The land is dotted with native grasses, ancient sagebrush, and pinon juniper woodlands that stabilize the hard-baked soil and retain its precious moisture. This unique habitat, part of the sagebrush steppe ecosystem, is one of North America's most threatened landscapes, and yet it supports more than 350 species of birds, mammals, and reptiles across the western United States. Mule deer, pronghorns, and elk thrive here. In the spring, greater sage-grouse gather to perform their elaborate courtship dance. These birds serve as an indicator species, reflecting the overall health of the sagebrush ecosystem, which has seen their populations decline by more than 80% over the last century due to habitat loss and fragmentation. Prairie dogs and jackrabbits make their homes on the ground, hunted by eagles above and bobcats below. All together, they form a diverse ecological web that keeps the refuge healthy and dynamic. Ecologists describe this kind of system as a trophic network, where predators, herbivores, and plants regulate one another through energy and nutrient flows. Wild Mustangs are an integral and long-established part of the system. They are ecological engineers, quite literally shaping the land simply by living on it. In ecological terms, an engineer is a species that alters its environment in ways that affect other organisms. As the horses wander through the landscape, every step they take aerates the soil. Unlike other grazers, horses don't fully break down seeds during digestion, and during their daily travels, they return the seeds to the earth wrapped in manure that fertilizes new ground so the seeds can root and grow. By grazing dominant grasses, the horses prevent any single species from taking over, encouraging increased biodiversity. Wild horses survive on dry, coarse vegetation that many other grazers leave behind, including invasive plants like cheatgrass, the kindling of catastrophic wildfires. By consuming this fuel, horses help protect the land, reducing the intensity and spread of fire across the plains. Because cheatgrass grows quickly, dries out early, and dramatically increases fire frequency across western rangelands, the horses grazing plays an important role in protecting and maintaining the landscape. In this semi-arid environment, water can be hard to find. While the refuge maintains wells and water holes, the horses are also masters at finding their own water. Wild horses dig deep into dry ground to reach water below the surface and create new watering holes that support animals and plant life alike. In arid ecosystems, animal-created water sources can function as resource hotspots, concentrating biodiversity during drought conditions. In nature, balance is what happens when a species is allowed to do what it has evolved to do, when freedom becomes function. The wild horses are not separate from this land. They are part of its memory, its resilience, and its future. The Wild Horse Refuge's science-based stewardship demonstrates that wild horses can share habitats, food sources, and water that support the full spectrum of wildlife in this basin. This is a place of learning and research to discover what healthy rangeland ecology looks like when nature leads the way. Everything that lives is connected. The horse, the grass, the water, the life that surrounds us all. Protecting the horses at the Wild Horse Refuge protects this precious landscape, the heart of the American West, and all the creatures who call this place home. The Wild Horse Refuge, a living model of coexistence, where wild horses thrive as a critical part of a functioning whole.